True fans live for their team. For those true U of A fans, there is Hughes Federal Credit Union. Show your U of A spirit and put technology and convenience at your fingertips. Hughes Federal Credit Union. Smart choice.
Welcome to Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. I'm Star Sports Editor Ryan Finley here with Greg Hansen. Greg, the Arizona Wildcats traveled to Stanford on Saturday, or at least I think it's the Arizona Wildcats. Probably won't be any Anu Solomon. There won't be any Scooby Wright. This is a team who, following last week's loss to UCLA, is in some real trouble.
How creative can Rich Rod be? He's probably going to have to pull out everything.
Right.
And will it even matter?
Right. I mean, will it matter if they can't make a defensive stop? This is a Stanford team that plays so differently from everybody else. I mean, they're going to try to just pound the ball up the middle until the U of A gives up.
Last week Arizona gained 372 yards rushing against UCLA, which is unheard of for a loser,
right?
Especially a lopsided loser. Arizona has only rushed for more than 350 yards 3 times in 20 years.
Wow.
And you kill the team you play when you do that.
Right.
That's the one thing that makes me think Arizona might be able to hang in there a little bit. They'll be able to run the ball and score.
Well, my question is, does the threat of a big running day get taken away if your quarterback can't complete a pass?
Well, that's the spy versus spy intrigue of this week.
Right, because if Gerard Randall's your quarterback, he is as dynamic a football player as they have. Forget the position, forget what he does. He's as dynamic of a football player as they have. He has a strong arm, but it doesn't seem like he can find. I mean, he completed 4 of 16 passes against UCLA. If it's Brandon Dawkins who can go, maybe you gain that passing threat back, but you lose Gerard Randall unless you can find a way to put them both on the field.
Oh, are you saying something? You suggesting something?
I think that if Rich Rodriguez pulls out all the stops, and if this is his kind of bag of tricks game, that at some point you're going to see both of them on the field at the same time.
Same time?
Yeah.
I still don't think it works, but you got to try it.
Right. I mean, at some point you got to put your best 11 on the field, don't you?
Yeah.
And right now, I would think that Randall and Dawkins are 2 of their best 11.
But to me, why we're talking about this, the big problem is their defense. They can't tackle.
No, and they couldn't tackle when Scooby Wright was in last week either.
I watched the 60-minute replay on the Pac-12 network. I was going to get out a piece of paper and keep track of the missed tackles, but that was too boring. Right. But it was amazing. Jamar Alla, the safeties, they couldn't tackle anybody.
Yeah. To me, what's going to be so tough with this team is, how does Arizona's not very big to begin with on defense. How do you crowd the middle enough that you don't get completely blown off the ball by pulling guards, big tackles, fullbacks, H-backs, tight ends? I mean, this could be a man versus boys situation, Stanford's offense versus Arizona's defense.
You said, how can you do it? I don't think Arizona can. They don't have the personnel. They haven't been able to recruit well enough defensively to have capable players on there against a team like Stanford in a game like this.
Absolutely. Unless, again, they go the bag of tricks.
How often does a bag of tricks win games?
I think a bag of tricks won Arizona the UCLA game in 2011. They came out against the Bruins. It was Tim Kish's first game. They ran the old double eagle flex defense. They did some new things on offense. That was when we first saw really Tremaine Bondurant. But that's one game in 4 years.
Look, in 1989, Arizona had a week off before they played a top 10 UCLA team. They installed a new offense, the I-bone. They beat UCLA 42-7 and ran for 400 yards. Now that was a bag of tricks.
Right.
They don't have a week off to do it this time, or the personnel they had in 1989.
That's a very good point. Well, that'll do it for this episode of Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. For Greg Hansen, do you like the Stanford trip, by the way?
It's good because it's not hot, and right now that's number 1.
Right. And once you get inside, pretty good stadium.
Underrated, but there's no atmosphere.
None. I'm Ryan Finley. We'll see you next time.
True fans live for their team. They buy the gear, they order the tickets, they pay for the seats and the experiences. For those true U of A fans, thankfully there is Hughes Federal Credit Union, offering the latest payment choices such as U of A debit cards, paying online, paying a friend with pop money, or using Apple Pay with your mobile phone. Show your U of A spirit and put technology and convenience at your fingertips. Hughes Federal Credit Union. Smart choice.